Lesson 5.4, Add and Subtract Inequalities. We're going to start a unit about inequalities. We're going to review what they are. We're going to learn how to do one-step inequalities, and then we'll go on to looking at multi-step inequalities in this unit. Now, an inequality just states that two expressions either are not equal or may not be equal. It works like an equation, but an equation has an equal sign that shows that both expressions are equal. In inequality, they may or may not be equal. The solution set is just the set of answers. Since it could be a less than, greater than, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to symbol, it could cover a span of answers. So it's called a solution set. We're going to use this rhyme to help us know how we're to plot our number on our number line when we're graphing an inequality, whether we will shade in a circle or leave it open. If it has a line, take your time and shade it in. Example 1, we're just going to graph a solution set. Part A, x is greater than or equal to -2. So we draw a little number line. It doesn't have to be very detailed. We really just need to see the number that we are graphing and a number on either side of it. To the right of -2 would be -1 because it's getting closer to 0. And to the left of -2 would be -3. And so I'm going to graph. I'm going to place a dot over -2. And I notice that it has a line. Remember our rhyme? If it has a line, take your time and shade it in. So I'm shading it in. And then I notice that x, my variable, is on the left side, which is very helpful because if it is, it's going to match my greater than symbol, which shows my arrow will be shaded to the right. And I could check and make sure that makes sense. X is greater than or equal to -2. Greater than -2 would be to the right on the number line, and it does make sense. And we're finished with that problem. Part B, y is less than 1. So I'm going to place a dot over 1. And I don't see a line, so I'm not going to shade it in. It does not include the number 1. Y is just less than 1. The less than symbol matches, so I'm going to go to the left. And I'm done with that problem. Now we're going to solve some inequalities using adding and subtracting. They work just like equations. So if we're adding and subtracting, they work exactly like equations, but instead of keeping on bringing an equal sign down, we're going to bring down our inequality symbol. So in example 2, we're going to solve and then graph the solution set. So we have this inequality, x minus 12 is greater than 32. We're trying to get x by itself. We see our greater than symbol, and what's on the same side with the inequality symbol as the term x? That's -12. So I get rid of -12 by adding 12 to both sides, just like I did when we worked equations. And we bring down x. Bring down our greater than symbol, and 32 plus 12 is 44, so we get x is greater than 44. We have now solved this inequality. I'm going to go ahead and plot it on a graph. And so we've got 44. There's no line, I don't shade it in, but x is greater than matches the greater than symbol. We go to the right. X is greater than 44 would be numbers like 45 and so on. And we're finished with part A. Part B, -2 is less than or equal to x plus 16. Once again, we're trying to get x by itself. We look and see at the inequality symbol what's on the same side with x, and that's a plus 16. So to get rid of that term, we always get rid of terms by adding or subtracting, so I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides because 16 minus 16 is 0. They cancel. That way x is by itself on that right side. And then -2 minus 16 is -18. So I've got my answer, but I would like to write it where my variable is on the left side. So I'm going to swap sides, and when I do, I'm going to swap around my inequality symbol, because negative 18 is less than or equal to x. It's the same as saying x is greater than or equal to negative 18. And last, I'm going to graph this. I have negative 18. To the right of it would be numbers getting closer to 0, so negative 17. And then negative 19 on the left. And let's see, when we plot negative 18, we've got that it has a line, so we're going to take our time, shade it in. Since I rewrote my inequality solution with my variable on the left, then I can look at my symbol, greater than, and it matches. I draw my line. I'm finished with my problem.